Black woman, African woman, black woman, African woman.
Yeah, was your sunny shebio, and you want Casamoson for him, Lily M. Mammy, Calais, Miss Ushenia, you put me a friend, sir. Nana, dear, me say, Paya, a big trap if we say, or before, and now what do me best slam if you dream had dear, and then dear penny best shred, you make dear, ye day. Only a fabramosia bremo dear the ban only a chill no bremosia. Now, what one swap, oh, papa, when you grind shed. Now, Lilian TV so dear, get a butu so she am here, you go to bremo dear.
Black woman, African woman, black woman, African woman.
Was your mamma about the move all promotion when you made so. And then so, yes, honey, at Senase. Now, the Antanasi keke, it's like a year, every day, 3 years. And your up, France, up what for Nasa Pam for papa. Yeah, one more offer of Bremo, just only a waffle and pack, he said. Eh, almost a mention. Or one shall see a keke, or my for Bremo, and I for Bremo, how more droop and so I am. Certainly paying it don't best maybe so. Now we show crying. Now therefore, and son of a cosono. And what for me one man to make a brow, mouse who share dear woman at the ball brown. Before I'm to die. Steamer record label. Hairport salon. Hairport salon, dear. One more proper to what is sick. A war. And Crancomha. And Kumasi and answer baby ada. One more. Now man probably will be one more. But nya popia say. Magina Firestone. Na domain so one wo Golden Palace Hotel Limited was a man kese Jamestown and a Zircon Hotel and also what Haifa. Na Lily M Palace Event Center Kroya da ewo Asaman kese so ewo Jamestown wada and a Steam Limited a road and building consultants a one we are kwan na omo tufo so wo akwan ho or for and not year Empire Bega, he said, yeah, the poto view that would make so. Napoto, dear, and one yamas na Musa some, oh, my dream said, every Nadia Mammy, open the beer. Lilian TV is also at the back, not there be shown crying. I won't come away. I'm Mark Midofli Aquaba. You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. This is all promotion. It's a life experience show where people come to actually encourage people out there how to live good lives, how to be encouraged, how to never give up. This is what this show is all about. So we are very grateful to have you here.
And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be part of this wonderful, wonderful show.
Thank you very much. Just help me introduce yourself. Who is Mama X?
Wow, great question. Well, Mama X, first and foremost, I am an Alkebulan woman. I'm an African woman. At heart, you know, everything about me is Africa. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a wife. And I'm here living my purpose in Ghana. You know, Mama X has a lot of things to share, and hopefully my story will empower other females in particular. You know, just be who you are, live your purpose, live your dreams.
Yeah. Great. That's good.
Yeah.
So you have children?
I have children, yes. I am a mother of 2 girls.
Beautiful.
Biologically, my eldest is 28 and I have a 14-year-old.
Wow. Yeah. You are an educator.
I am an educator, yes.
And a trainer.
I'm a trainer.
An actress as well.
An actress as well. Thank you, Ghana, for giving me my first, opportunities to be on a series on YouTube. You know, all about how a mother pressurizes her son to get
Wow.
married and actually finds a lady for her, and it all goes a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
awkward. You'll have to tune in and really get the gist of it.
So you've had your first role?
I've had my first role here in
Wow.
Ghana. Yes.
You loved it.
I loved it 100%. Fantastic crew, fantastic storyline, and just having that opportunity, to work with other young professionals here in Ghana. So step in the right direction.
Okay, brilliant. What do you do as a trainer?
As a trainer, well, I build modules and courses for either schools, models, bolt-on modules, yeah.
Okay.
And primarily I roll out customer service courses for various industries. It could be hospitality, to retail, banking. And I also roll out health and safety in the workplace, leadership skills, employability, all those sorts of things that, sometimes large organizations and companies take for granted, but there's value in training, and the return on investment for your employees is just, astronomical. So it's really good to have a good training base.
Wow.
So, and I love the interaction with people. Helping them reach their potential.
Have you started training here in Ghana?
I'm in the process of
in the process
of starting up my training institute.
Okay.
I'm also working with some schools here in Ghana. Yes,
Okay.
to implement Afrocentric history, which is very, very important.
I would love to be part of that.
I would love you to be part of that. Please come and join me.
Where do you come from?
Where do I come from? Well, I was born in the UK. I was born in London.
Okay.
Both of my parents are from the beautiful nature island of Dominica in the Caribbean.
Okay.
And my paternal grandfather is from Barbados and Montserrat, so from the little islands in the Caribbean. But we are the scattered ones, so we know our roots are from West Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you found your roots and you thought Ghana is where you come
Ghana
from?
is our connection, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. Why have you come to Ghana? Why do you want to live here in Ghana? Because you mentioned that you've relocated.
Yes.
Why Ghana?
Why Ghana? Great question, thank you. First and foremost, the spiritual ancestral calling for myself.
Spiritual ancestral calling.
Absolutely. As I said, my ancestry line are from the scattered ones, the ones that were kidnapped, stolen from the motherland and scattered to the Caribbean. And I felt for a long time.
So you're referring this to the slave trade?
The slave trade, exactly, 100%.
Oh,
I felt for a long time that I just didn't feel comfortable, and I just didn't feel that the UK was my home, although I was born there and lived the majority of my life there. There was a pulling. There was a calling, and the more I was educating myself and the more I was learning about our rich history, about our people, our warrior kings and queens, and all our all of those that have left such a great mark on the world, although the story hasn't been told from our narrative, the inventors and scientists and all those great people who come from the motherland. It was just pulling me to come back home.
Okay.
And I decided on Ghana because, yes, I have my roots here. I have some great friends that are also Ghanaian. And I just jumped on board of the whole 2019 year of return thing. Like so many people did, And
so you got here in the year 2019.
2019,
during
yes.
the year of return.
During the year of
and
return.
And you've never gone back?
No, we went back. We came, we had a great time, lovely holiday. We met some fantastic people. And my husband and I, we just decided, you know what? We're going to make this a reality. We're going to, I'm going to help you live your dream, because he knew that was my dream, to come back to Ghana so that I can, leave my essence here, if you will, and use my knowledge and experience to help and help others. So I just got back to the UK and started to do my networking, and I went to the Ghanaian High Commission office and met with lots of different people and just started to put, the plan in process. So roll on to COVID time. We said, definitely we need to be in Ghana. Relocate, absolutely. So we boarded that plane September last year, and here we are.
So you've been here
just 1 year. 1 year now. Yeah.
How are you loving Ghana?
I'm loving Ghana. I'm loving the culture. I'm loving the food. Some of the food, not all of it, but I'm a little bit.
Mention food.
Yeah. I'm just loving the whole experience of being free.
Okay.
As a black person, I feel free in Ghana. I don't feel that there's a cloud over me. I feel that I have opportunities that I perhaps wouldn't have been, open to in the UK. And I feel that I can just go and do and live my purpose. And by doing so, there's other opportunities that I can bring to other people. It hasn't been all swimming. It hasn't been all beautiful and all good. There's challenges. There's barriers. It's a different way of life. And some of the people, their mindset is, not where it should be, should I say.
Where it should be.
So some
Ghanaians?
Yeah, some Ghanaians haven't embraced the whole, meeting someone from the diaspora and, welcoming them and things like that. But that's a small minority of people. The majority of people that I've come into contact with have been, wow, welcome home, Papa, come, sit with me, talk with me, tell me my stories. And that's very, very, heartfelt.
How has their behavior been towards you? How has it been behaving towards you that you do not feel is the best? People out there watching you can also take a clue or something from what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it might cause a change in their mindset and their attitude and all that.
As I say, there are some people that their mindset does need to change, and maybe they haven't had that interaction. Some people have called out to me on the street, a white woman or bunny, and that's it. That's the white woman. I'm like, really? I don't have blonde hair. I'm rocking my locks and everything.
I'm enjoying. I'm loving the locks. My African earrings are so beautiful. So you just want to be Ghanaian, African,
absolutely,
as possible.
Yeah, because that's what I am, and I've come home, and it's about learning from each other to make our continent a better place. And I feel that starts in the mind. That starts with education,
changing the mindset and attitude. I see. I can see you're a very spiritual person.
Thank you.
How spiritual are you?
I've moved away from anything man-made, any man-made religions, let's say, and
man-made religion.
Yeah, living here in Ghana is giving me the opportunity to really tap into my African traditional way of life. How we used to live, before, how we used to worship before. And that's primarily, how I try to live my life. I give thanks and praise every day to the Creator and my ancestors. I acknowledge them because they walk with us every day, and just live that way and just be in tune to nature and be grateful for nature, because that's a very, very big part for us as melanated African people. So I just try to live
so
that.
When you say man-made religion, what do you mean?
Now you're going to get me into trouble.
I really need to understand. I'm not understanding that part. I need to understand. When you say man-made, I know in Ghana we have man-made shoes, man-made earrings, man-made this, man-made that. But when you talk about spirituality and you mention man-made, you need to get that point clear.
Okay,
it's a bit confusing to me.
Well, I feel as melanated people, as African people, our spirituality comes from the Creator.
Okay.
And it's down to us individually to really tap into that, connect with that. Things as simple as my hair. I wear my hair as locks, as you can well see, because that identifies me, I feel, as an African, and that also allows for the connection from the divine to come through to me, because our hair is so important to be able to connect with our Creator, and a lot of people don't realize that. The man-made religions, I just walked away from, going to church, a building every Sunday and listening to one person spout out how I should live my life, and that I can only get that connection with the Creator or with the divine if I go to church on a Sunday and, pay my 10% tithe. I've moved away from that because, Jah, the Creator, is within I. It's within me. So when you develop your own spirituality, you feel that, you meditate and you call on your Creator, you call on your ancestors, and they tap into you the way you connect with them. So I don't need the false things and looking at certain idols. That has no connection with us. That doesn't even look like us, I don't need that. Thank you.
So the fact that somebody would stand there and instruct you or tell you what to do makes that a man-made. religion or philosophy?
Yeah, well, it is man-made.
So he has created something to come and tell you.
Yeah, 100%.
Formed something himself or herself to come and tell you what you should do and what not to do.
Yeah.
That makes it a man-made.
Well, it's man-made in the sense that the evidence doesn't present itself to have come directly from the creator.
Wow.
You know, it doesn't. You know, there's words and there's things that you should do and you shouldn't do. But when you trace that back, where does it come from? It comes from a man that has said certain things. You know, Pope Constantine, he has a lot to answer for.
Wow.
And I just feel, you know, I'm on the motherland. I can tap into what my ancestors were doing hundreds and
I just want to get everything from you.
Yeah.
We are going to come back to your life experience. So you just hold on for me. But before I leave, let me just acknowledge my sponsors again: Haircut Salon, Zircon Hotel, Strength of a Woman Foundation, Steamer Record Label, Steam Limited, EM Event Center, and then Golden Palace Hotel Limited. Please follow this program on Facebook, Obremusienhu TV, on YouTube, Lily M TV, Instagram, Obremusienhu, and then Lily M fan page on Facebook. We try to see my back. We continue.
Black woman, African woman, black woman, African woman.
Mamu na kwa ba bio mu ba operation no dwumade so ai mo akasa mo so mfo ma Lily M mso betini afra me ma me colors na dwumade mi di mo chia me na yan kasa ya ma me aba ho fofo a ofri the Caribbean island if I'm right I think I'm right the Caribbean island Mama X or your educator or your trainer is also a beautiful actress all kind of bring actually, Mama X, you are most welcome again.
Thank you.
To the show. So tell me about your life story.
Wow.
How has it been for you?
Well, the first thing I will say, I'm so grateful to my parents because I had a very good childhood in comparison to a lot of my friends and people that I've met along the way, my journey. So my journey started off very well. I'm the youngest child of 6.
Six.
Of 6, yes. My mum and dad, they did good. And being the youngest child, you know, you get your little perks. Yeah. When you want to play, someone has to play with you because, you know, they don't want to risk you running off to mum and dad and complaining about them. You know, so I had a healthy, loving environment to grow up in, which, as I say, I give thanks to my parents and to my siblings. However, the downside to that is I experienced a lot of racism growing up, either directly myself or my siblings who are older than me. You know, in the place we were living in just outside of London, predominantly white.
You were born in London?
Yes, I was born in London, yeah.
Okay.
So predominantly a white area with just your pockets of black Caribbean families. And the racism was very much in your face, you know, ugly words thrown at you, you know. Wow. I have a really close experience of a friend of mine's mother was actually spat at, you know, whilst just shopping in the market. And my brothers were fighting continuously with the mods and the skinheads. And this was around in the 70s, early 80s. So when I was growing up as a teenager, I encountered racism. You know, I was fighting with my cousins on the bus because a group of white girls, you know, got on the bus and they challenged us. They wanted to sit, you know, where we were already sat, and we're just like, well, no, you know, to you, yeah, of course. And it just, you know,
ask you to get out
from the seat. Get out from the seat.
Because you are black.
Well, you know, they just wanted to push their authority on us, but that's what it was, because they were a group of white girls and we were a group of black girls, you know, and they just felt that
even girls were doing that.
Girls and boys, always, yeah. So, you know, I've experienced that. And I've also experienced the institutional racism that a lot of people are not aware of here in Ghana or in Africa. There's institutional racism in the UK, whether it's the education system, whether it's the employment, whether it's the police, you know.
Wow.
And yeah, black people are suffering in the UK.
In the UK?
100%. I mean, you know, it just made me laugh. I think it was Prince Charles or Prince William, came in when this whole Meghan Markle thing was going on, and she herself has experienced racism, and they were quick to come out and say, "Oh no, we're not a racist country." Well, yes, you are. We've experienced it. I've experienced it. Going for job interviews that I'm more than qualified for, more than qualified than the person who's actually interviewing me. I don't get the job. And I go, well, give me feedback. And the feedback that they give me is just lousy. And then I know it's because of the way I look, because, I have long locks, and because, I'm a Nubian person, I'm an African person. And that's just not my story. That's,
the story,
for a lot of people.
Almost everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's getting worse.
People there are also experiencing
this. 100%.
And they paint it as, living in the UK is heaven on earth.
Yeah.
You are there and everything is okay for
100%.
And we have black people living there.
Absolutely.
Families have asked people to go live there. And they haven't come to tell us these kind of stories that you're telling us right now. Why do you think it would be the problem?
And these stories need to be exposed. These stories need to be told, because I've been here a year and I've encountered a lot of Ghanaian people who are striving to go to the UK. They want that money, they want to get out there because they feel the grass is greener on the other side and that's going to be a better place for them to live. But what they're not taking into account is that black people that are born there are suffering because of the institutional racism.
Born there.
I mean, we had incidents in 1993. Stephen Lawrence was stabbed to death
because
white youth.
Because he's black.
Because he's black. No other reason. Stabbed to death by a group of white youths in southeast London. The police failed the family because, it was just a whole horrible scenario. They didn't actually come to justice till years later. That's just one case. There was a case in 1976, I think it was, a house party, all young black children, enjoying a nice time at a party. The house was set ablaze. I think 13 of them were killed. Again, it was a racist
just because they are black and enjoying themselves at the party.
Yes,
and they were set ablaze, and 100%. 13 people were killed.
Yes.
And what did the authority do about this?
Exactly.
What did they do about this?
And this is
were the culprits arrested, and what was the punishment for them? Were they jailed? I need to get to understand.
Yes, I know you. This has been an ongoing thing. I think 30, 40 years later, people were then, taken into justice and held accountable. But that's just, isolated cases. What sparked the 1981 riots in Brixton? It was race-related. It was the institutional racism from the police at that time. So, it needs to be exposed. Okay, racism exists in the UK, and it's hard for black people. It's hard for people of color. So my message to anybody on the continent, anyone in Ghana who wants to go to Europe, do your due diligence, do your research. I'm not saying don't go and experience, go for a holiday, go for 3 months, go for 6 months, take a bit of time out, fine, go and see the things that they have there. But know that your roots and your home is home, and return back home. Because it's a horrible thing to say, but you may go to the UK and may not return.
How are your children? Are they also experiencing this? Now we are in the modern age, and do you still experience these things right now in the UK? And how has it been for your children? Have they also been experiencing this?
They've experienced it. My eldest in particular, who's 28, she definitely has. And again, one of the reasons why I wanted to leave the UK, I didn't want my youngest daughter to be exposed to that. I wanted to expose her to something different. I didn't want her to have to come home and say, "Mom, I've had a fight on the bus because of this and that," or "Mom, I got pulled up by my teacher because of this and that." I didn't want that for her. And I didn't want her to get into the whole cycle and then be exposed to the institutional racism. So I've removed her from that, and she's here with us in Ghana. But yes, my eldest has, when it comes to employment in particular, and if you just don't look a certain way, then, they can't directly come out and say that's what it is, but that's what it is.
I see.
You know exactly what it is, and it's soul destroying. It demoralizes you as a human being to think that, you're being subjected to all of this, whether it's abuse and bad feelings and hatred because of the way you look.
Yeah.
But yet still on the flip side of that, everybody wants to look like us, they want to emulate us, they want our body, they want our figure, they want our beautiful thick lips, they want our hair, you know. But then, you know, there's discrimination and there's racism because, you know, you look the way you look, and it's just unacceptable for the 21st century.
So is your daughter, little daughter, happy to be here in Ghana?
She's happy to be here in Ghana because she's learning lots of different things. She's being exposed to opportunities that she wouldn't have had in the UK.